Hello everybody and welcome back to Qualifier number 3 of the Alienware Awesome Cup Tournament. We are now here in the semifinals. My name's Slow Wolf. This is Forecourt in case you guys are brand new to the stream. We are covering game 2 now in between APE and...
Boom.
Boom. Thank you.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Boom goes the dynamite, including my brain. My brain completely went kaboom and forgot their name because I'm smart. But
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. But it's been a good day and it's come to this. We've got two teams that are extremely evenly matched. Like the last game was
good. Yeah,
like nail-bitingly good, and then we've come to this point. Game 2. I'm excited to see how these two teams bounce off of each other again. Like there's going to be some bouncing going on. I have a feeling these two are like neck and neck in terms of skill level. So
right now the Awesome Cup is a bouncy castle, and these guys are just gonna collide mid-air. Exactly. Yeah. The wolf face
wolf
of
bounce.
Pleasure right there. Wolf bounce. Can we get a hashtag wolf bounce, guys?
Hashtag wolf bounce. Hashtag worth it.
But
hashtag let's get to the freaking picks.
All right, game 2. Aguilon. The second game here of our semis is going to be back to purple.
Oh, bloody purple. Well, Ape's going to be playing purple with Scoop, Clunk, and Admiral Swiggins. On Team Boom, we've got Froggy, Admiral Swiggins, and finally the Scoop of Justice. So very even teams again, but this time the mirror match happening with the two Swiggins and the two Scoops instead of the two Clunks and the two Scoops. So it was two Clunks and two
Scoops of Justice.
Yes, justice will be served in 2 scoops of pistachio.
Or your money back.
Or your money back, yeah. So very similar to last game in terms of how the makeup looks, but instead of having 2 Clunks, they decided, you know what, let's go for our Swiggins. And the thing with Swiggins is that if he doesn't start off well, he tends to lag behind the entire game from my experience.
Yep.
And in this case, whichever team starts to come out on top, we'll see how the Swiggins ends up being by the end of it. So, yeah. I mean, this is a very burst-heavy lineup. They're both very aggressive. Scoops are going to be handing out hammers like they're free because they are. And the
Oprah wins.
You get a hammer and you get a hammer. It's gonna be spammy hammers, and right at the beginning, it's just gonna be like squeaky toy hammers going like weep, and then later on, it's just gonna be very painful, particularly for the frog. Can't get close to them. So we'll see if we see another left clicky clunk or whether or not we see an exploding clunk. Let's go ahead and check out what happens here on Aiguillon.
Chameleon, le Aguilon, le fromage.
Omelets.
I remember when this map came out. It feels like so long ago, Mr. Wolf.
That was our first time casting together.
No, it wasn't.
It was our second time casting together.
Nowhere near any of that.
It's the first time that we even hinted at replays, though. Look how far we've come.
Yes, it was the first time we got to play with replays, and it was on Aguilon. That I'll admit.
What?
Well, while we were lost in nostalgia view, Paulo is going to actually get out, but First Blood is going to go the way there of Boom.
What?
As everybody just kind of dogpiled. And
what?
And it was poor Swiggins at the end there with Ape that was on the bottom of the pile.
What? That was really impressive.
While we reboot Wolf here, here on Team Ape, Deity's the dead one is actually coming back. The Wizard of Oz will return, and that leaves us with Mavij
on the Scoop, yeah. And then on the Scoop on the blue team, we've got Paolo, we've got Kyle on the Swiggins as per usual, and Blah playing his trademark Froggy.
Blah was very blah last game. Like he got the kills, he got the solar, he did the damage, but I don't know, he just wasn't in the spotlight. That's really weird for me that a Frog wouldn't be kind of like that top earner.
Yeah, but he's not going to be in the, like this early game right now is proving to be really beneficial to him as he picks up another kill with Dash NATO right now. He gets off another Dash Deity. He's looking really rough.
Oh, the jukes.
But the jukes and the invis is going to end up saving his life. So it's just going to be 1 kill instead of 2 or something like that. And right now, Boom taking the lead, and that's a good thing for them because they didn't take a piggy bank this time. So things are already looking really good for them. They're only a couple of 100 solar ahead now as a team, so no one's got any upgrades on top of the other ones yet, but things are looking good for them.
So the Frog does not actually have the piggy bank, but that doesn't actually mean that he won't get it. We've seen delayed a little bit, so if we can get enough cash quickly enough, Blah could actually complement that to finish off a really nice set for an item. And then we could actually see him go to town. So I'm reserving judgment on that for now. But you're right. The only person right now, currently, with some money in the piggy bank is actually the Dailies. Oh, that's going to be a very tough time there for Mavij, but he actually does pull it off. So good.
Yep, he survives the double dash. So the Mario Kart combo not working out quite out there, but so it's gone to 2 kills so far. Deity's taking some damage as well. Paolo trying to go over for that bindings damage, but it's not going to end up working out for him. So right now, the teams have all just got base abilities, with the exception of the Swiggins on the red team, who decided he was going to supplement his death with a piggy bank into the Kraken statue. So that way he's got that stun now on the grapple. Like as if he couldn't deal with the NATO already. He's going to go ahead and keep Frog in place just for a little bit longer.
Well, that almost feels like the key to it. I mean, Frog by himself, very deadly, comes right out the back, comes off swinging, and you know, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. So, you know, really trying to put down that Frog. It worked game 1.
Yeah,
maybe they can make it work game 2.
Maybe, but right now they're looking like they're on their back foot, so we'll end up seeing. Speaking of on back feet, lots of damage coming out onto the red team. We got Oz taking the brunt of the assault from this chasing squid, but he's going to end up getting saved by his buddy Deities. Mavij and Oz, now at decent health, can go ahead and push off the assault. And everybody's just going to kind of go back to normal. Blau's going to just head home.
Got the invis there.
Yeah, he did get the invis, which is nice. And he's picked up this first snare upgrade, but that's the thing. He didn't go for Twisted Lance. He went for snare. And that's an interesting way to build. And I can see why he's picked it up, because no matter what distance you are, the snare is going to be increased. It's not like Twisted Lance where you have to be farther for the snare duration to increase. He's got snare. So we'll see how that ends up working out. Oz getting a double explode, but it's not going to end up doing too much as Blah ends up getting the kill onto Deities. So that's 3-0, 2 kills going towards the Frog. The Frog kind of rolling in it. He's already got Hammer Pants good to go.
Yeah, and that double Hammer Pants came out big because he did get the death from above while Paolo with the invis was actually able to set up for that hammer. So it was a really nice, really big combo. And this early game, we don't have any pills on the board, right? So that kind of big burst coming out of the Frog, that's going to be instrumental to getting some more of these kills. Absolutely.
Now, interesting pickups here. We got Twisted Lance coming out on Mavij on the scoop. We also have Thermonuclear Cleaner being picked up by the Clunk. So he's deciding not to go left click this time, going into the explode instead.
Oz with that spidey sense, man. He can smell a Frog right there. He's actually going to explode. 750 explode on this Frog, and that anchor is just going to seal the deal. And everybody here from APE is actually going to be able to walk away on that one.
So putting their first kill on the board.
And
we're now 1-3 in favor of Team Boom here, but that's going to be their first kill. Swiggins picking it up to help offset his deaths earlier on. But yeah, whatever, no big deal.
Yep, no big deal, sir. No big deal. So, 3-1, 5 minutes in. Once again, I'm just at really a loss of how even that these guys are. I mean, the thought patterns on both sides are actually top-notch meta.
Yeah, they have very good instincts as far as where people are and how to play together and all that stuff. And it's really, like, you saw there, Oz was like, I know there's an invisible Frog, and I know he's waiting. He practically bit him when he was invisible. Like, that was just really good. He must have bumped into him at some point or shot him by accident. He was just waiting for that to kind of wear off or see what was going on. Anyway, as we move into the almost 6 minute mark, nothing else really coming out. Oh, never mind. As I say that, Blue Swiggin's picking up the Kraken statue and the first rank of Purple Heart Medal. So he's going to have that stun and that little bit of damage right out of the gate. So he's got a 1-up on Deities, who has used Piggy Bank to get as far as he has right now.
That little statue actually goes really well with the skin.
Oh,
yeah. It's a demonic skin, man.
Yeah, well, it's Abyssal Swiggins. It better be demonic. It's Abyssal.
Yep, demonic Swiggins with, Abyssal Swiggins with demonic Skoldir is actually quite the duo pair.
Yeah, with Wraithlord Scoop, you got Team Halloween right there.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a good way to put it. Team Halloween, I like that.
Yeah, Team Halloween, Ghosts and Ghouls and Killers, oh my. It's not even a bad makeup, all things considered.
No.
It's pretty good. You can get zoned out. So right now we're playing a game of Footsie Nuts. Teams kind of bouncing off each other, clearing lanes where they can, and trying not to get caught out. If they get caught out, then it can be really painful. But so far, so good. Both teams just kind of doing their thing. Boots being picked up by Oz. That's new. That's good.
Yeah, he actually went all the way home, picked it up, and came back in as quick as he could with that. So the Boots are going to come out big with that explode. There goes the Frog, and that's going to be the double. Oz actually now taking home some bank.
Yeah, lots of bank at that. That is a lot of solar, actually. That's 140 solar? If I've got my numbers correctly, all told. So that's an ability right there off of that double kill. Plus his team just made another 60 solar on each of them. So they've got a lot of money to play with now. They're probably going to go home and spend it for the first time in a little while. It's been a while since they bought some upgrades. Speaking of upgrades being bought, we got Mutant Ninja Worms being picked up by the Frog, and Wraithlord Scoop on the blue side picking up 2 Idol of the Ice Queens. So the ending bindings damage now a little bit more effective. On the red team, Scoop picking up cooldown, and Swiggins picking up 2 ranks of blue heart metal. So that's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, Oz taking a ton of damage for Blah. Blah is going to take a lot of damage back. Out comes the Explode at the last second. Paolo now, he's going to go down to well-placed ink shots. And it's just Kaio now, as Blah went down to the Explode a little bit earlier there. So Oz, as he was dying, thought, you know what, I'm not getting out of this alive. I'm going to take somebody with me.
And he did.
And he did. In stellar fashion, mind you. Now he's got both ranks of thermonuclear cleaner, so that's an 1,000 damage explode. Kaio managing to just swing in, you know, a la George of the Jungle.
Yeah, I was thinking Tarzan myself.
I like Tarzan better, but you know, George of the Jungle.
Yep.
Anyway, but Kaio manages to swing to safety.
Could you make a Swiggins parody on that?
Swigs of the Aegyo?
Of the sea?
Swiggins of the sea?
Let's just leave that to more professional minds.
You know what? I'm too tired to think of anything.
Exactly my... All right, 5-4, and these last 2 team fights, basically it was 2 up, 2 down. APE gets themselves those kills. Respawn back into a fight, 2 up, 2 down. They went from 3-1 up to 5-4 on the back of all that.
Yep, and that, I think, has a lot to do with well-placed explodes. That's something I cannot stress enough. If Clunk lands explodes, and it lands it on multiple people in a team fight, that's a very strong indicator of who's going to win a team fight, just because how much damage it is. So this top tower almost dead on the blue end of things.
Yeah,
bottom tower is still fairly healthy, but
Paulo did a really good job there of just protecting that tower with his hit point bar.
yeah, and that's something that Scoop can easily do. He's got a lot of hit points. He's a heavily weighted character, being that hit points are how characters are weighted. So the more HP you got in your HP bar, the more you can push people around. That's how that business works now. And yeah, it should be an all right time. All things like he can push creeps off of his base forever as a result of that. It's kind of important.
It is kind of important because you need to keep these towers alive as long as you can.
Yep.
They are your bastions of protection. They are your map control. They're your safety nets. And you know, when somebody cuts a safety net and you're out there pole walking, well, yeah.
Yeah, it can turn out rough. And
you fall, you hurt, you die.
Yeah, and dying's kind of the worst. In comes an invisible Clunk, but the invisible Clunk's just saying, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna break this tower instead. Out comes the bite. Oz taking a lot of damage. He's gonna be able to get off and explode first. He goes for the explode, makes a big mistake, but Majib able to pick up the kill on the back end of that. So that's going to be a trade and a lot of solar on the ground for his own team to pick up. So if he's going to die, that's the best way to make that death happen.
Yeah.
And
trade it out 1 for 1.
Yeah, trade it out 1 for 1 and get his team to get the solar from his the 40 solar from his death. So that's a pretty big trade in favor of Team APE. They managed to pick up the turret and another kill on
both
the
scoops just went Paris Hilton on us.
Did they now?
Yeah, a lot of shopping just occurred.
Well, that's going to be damage on the red scoop for the hammer, and for the blue scoop, he's picked up Twisted Lance and 1 rank of the triple scoop banner alongside Piggy Bank. So he's deciding that he needs to get that extra edge to stay in this game and to try to eke out an advantage. Will they be able to keep it? I don't. Will he be able to do that is the question here.
Well, sitting at 6-5 and 11 minutes in, I mean, a lot of the last fights have gone really well for APE. You know, 2-1, 2-1. They actually do pick up that 1-1 on a bad situation for Oz. So, yeah, I mean, repeated applications of this kind of engage, this kind of pickup from them, and yeah, it's going to be well worth the money.
I think so too. But as the game starts to shape up, we've got left-click damage being bought out by the Swiggins on the red team. So Deities going for that grapple drop left-click damage everywhere. Like it's a really good way to play because you can chase people after you get the grapple drop on them and do a lot of damage. So in comes the grapple, no drop though, and Deities gets grapple drop instead, and they manage to get a pick off for nothing. Now Black coming in for the damage. Ape's Majib trying to run away as fast as he can, but Scoop is too big and too easy to hit, so he runs away. Now Oz running for his life. He knows he's being chased by Kaio. He gets the HP, but at what cost? Down he goes for nothing in return. He deals 3,000 damage, but it's just it's not enough to kill anybody.
Absolutely not. I mean, low hit points abound, but win by an inch, win by a mile. A win is a win. It's a win. And on the back of that previous fight, they're actually in really good shape here to take a turret.
Yeah, this turret definitely going down. So that's going to be a breath of needed fresh air for this team. They're now 6-8 in favor of Boom.
Decidedly taken the solar advantage.
And they have now, they have now decidedly taken that solar advantage. About 200 solar apiece, which means they each have an upgrade. Yeah, which means they now each have an upgrade above the others. So lots of shopping happening there. We got Pool Boy and left click damage happening on Kaio's Swiggins. On the Paolo Scoop, we've got more damage on the Hammer. And finally on the Frog, he's going for max damage. He's picked up the big damage upgrade and 1 rank of the small damage upgrade. So he's definitely going for that dash damage to get that burst going, to really start up these ganks and make sure that when they jump on one of these tanky characters on the left side here, that they can kill it.
Well, the last team fight was very indicative of yes, they can. They can even chase him down a little bit after that. I mean, APE Oz, he had that invis, but he decided to just snare bite, reveal himself, and that was insane as he did drop there. So, yeah, if you can take down a Clunk 3-on-1, I think you can pretty much take down anybody.
Yeah, considering that Clunk has the most HP in the game, bar none, at least in terms of raw HP.
Raw HP.
Yeah, raw HP, he can definitely tank it and win. Durple supporting probably the highest effective HP if he gets both shield upgrades and sits in turn mode with pills. But yeah, Clunk is one robot whose HP bar is exceptionally large for no good reason.
Just like his heart.
Just like his heart, which
no
explodes in rage.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Naveej is holding down this top lane, just picking up a few droid kills here and there. Throwing out that hammer. It's actually landed for Deities so that he can get off that anchor, but no real fallout. It's just too far away there from the Oz. And, you know, you don't really want to overextend that close to a turret because that platform in the top is susceptible to having bots kind of charging a right road into your race, your back line. You don't want to be near those tornadoes when they start popping. So, yeah, I mean, not following up on that probably the better idea. And we're just a little bit back to a footsies game.
Yeah, footsies game, 6-8 in favor of Boom. 14 minutes and 36 seconds into this game. Right now, it's very much a stalemated game. It is slightly in favor of the blue team, Team Boom, but only by a little bit. Team APE more or less keeping on par with them. They're going for more of a footsie nods build. Machieve probably going to go down here as he gets caught out by himself. The rest of Team APE unable to support him, and that's going to be an easy pick off for no cause. Like that's exactly what you want. Now the blue team going to go ahead and try to get off some damage here. But in comes the Explode. The Explode's going to end up hitting no one. And now Deities by himself, running as fast as his squiddly little legs will let him go, but it's not fast enough since the Frog does his drive-by shooting and gets him right in the face of that fish gun.
That's the second now cleanup that we've seen. That's the second team wipe. And I think of the last 7 kills, we've only traded out back 1.
Yep.
That's impressive stuff. So they get the kills, they got the money, they now also have those objectives in their pockets. They got the team wipe, took a turret. Took the team wipe, took the turret. A lot of cash now being flowed right through and a lot of pill popping happening.
So at this point, they got the upgrades that they know can deal enough damage. They just need to survive the return damage. Did they do this? I don't think they did this exactly before. Like, before it was...
I'm pretty sure they had like an overwhelming lead at one point, and they all just went pills. Pills, pills, pills.
That might have been in an earlier game.
Yeah. But they've done this before.
Not in this series, but
this
yes,
is very trademark Boom, though.
Yeah, and it's a good move overall. Like, when you've got a situation like this. Oh, speaking of a situation like this, Machieve barely managed to survive. Deities getting caught out. In comes the Explode. The Explode's going to end up hitting the Frog. The Frog now very low, but so is Oz, and Oz goes down. It's now a 3v2. It's not a situation that Machieve or Deities wants to be in. And Deities still sticking around despite his incredibly low HP. He should probably just head home. And now the blue team
sounds
looking
like
to get an advantage. Yeah, it sounds like you heard me all right. In the past.
Yeah. The echoes from the past, from the future, reverb into the past. 12-6, more kills here for Boom, and now they are pushing in really hard against these turrets.
They each have a fairly sizable solar upgrade now, sporting at 1, maybe 2 upgrades at the very least over the counterparts on the other side. Yeah.
5-4. That's what, 1,200 solar.
Yep.
That's a good chunk of money.
Yes, it is. It's not an insurmountable amount, as you well know. Clunk, if he managed to work out, it could be fine. But it's going to take some work from Team APE to turn this game around if they can manage to pull it off. Right now, Team Boom looking extremely commanding in this game 2 of the series.
Yeah, game 2 is really shaping up to be Boom's game. You know, they're back on Aguilan, definitely a map that they've had a lot of practice with in the last few qualifiers. So you kind of, you know, force you into it half of the time anyways. And then, you know, a lot of people just pick it anyways because, well, they're very comfortable, they're very practiced on it. They have these team comps that work. And this team comp coming out of the Scoop, the Swiggins, and the Frog, I mean, there's a reason Boom is here into the semifinals. This is because the comp doesn't really lose. Although Boom did lose out, you know, one game against APE, again, another respawn there in the semifinals. But this is, for sure, 100% their game to lose.
At the moment, yeah, absolutely. And with a Frog on your team who can very easily just win a late game engagement, like they're shaping up to get to that late game for their team. They're shaping up to get to that point. Clunk might be able to do something in return. He is very scary in the late game as well, just because of the amount of damage he can kind of chunk out. But if he gets caught out, he tends to go down fairly quickly because he can't dodge anything. So he just absorbs all the damage that the other team has to deal. And Frog
absorbing that hammer.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough to say who would have a better late game in this case, but I'm willing to give it to the blue team. Oh, Kaio coming in with a grapple, but it's going to end up missing people. So no real engagement happening there. Oz putting on some damage on Paolo. Paolo going to have to take it easy for a bit. He's down a half. For the first time in a little while, we see some actual engagement happening between the two teams.
Yeah,
Paolo going in for the explode, and boom goes the dynamite. Oz managing to take the kill, and now the blue team in a very bad spot where it's 3v2. But Blah looking to maybe get a kill out here. Oh, but maybe not. The Joy's got the turret. Blah's low. Kaio's halfway, halfway full, and the red team fairly healthy still. So they're coming in. They're going to see if they can't get a push off. So despite the fact that they're behind, they really still have the opportunity to turn this around extremely easily.
Well, it was the gank spot that Oz happened to just kind of be in. Wow, that anchor is going to be the end of the Frog. There he goes. Oz is now going to be taking the lead there in the kills. The anchor is really the big key between these two, these two
absolutely
team comps, because you can't get away unless you take out the anchor, which you're very likely not to do. You're not going to get away, and Oz with that big, beautiful self-destruct. He has been taking the kills again and again and again. He's sitting at 5-5. Might not sound that great, but 5 is the highest amount of kills we have in the game right now.
And keep in mind, he killed himself twice.
Yeah,
and
at least twice, if not more.
At least twice. And in one of those cases, he gave the solo to his buddy. So although he gave 30 solo to everybody on the opposing team, he still got his own team to pick up 40. So it almost equivocated. It's only a 20 solo difference.
20 minutes in, 20 kills on the board. And overwhelmingly the solar is in the favor here of Boom. 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 versus anybody not even close to that. But somehow we keep seeing APE taking fights, taking ganks.
Yeah,
they're very smart about it.
They are very smart about it. And this happened last game too, where they were behind and they still managed to come out on top. And I really don't know what to attribute it to in this. In this game, I think it's because when the Clunk gets it, it ends up working. Really nice dodge by Deities.
Just
squid
floating. Above it all.
Yeah, just squid floating above it all. Admiral Swiggins is above your petty squabbles.
He doesn't come down to your level.
He cares not for your petty idiocy. He will float over your stuff.
Well, that one's too literal.
Fine. Yeah.
12-8 still, though. And again, very smart play coming out from both teams. If we see more, pickoffs, more ambushes here, especially with Oz on the front line. Oh, actually, Oz is still alive. There you go. Now he's going to drop. That's actually a really nice pickup there on top of the Swiggins. I didn't even see the explode coming out, though, of Oz. So I think he either got stunned out of it, or do we have a silence?
No silence on their team.
Then I have no excuses to exactly why. Well, it's off cooldown, so maybe he just didn't use it.
Maybe he got stunned between the Kraken and the Frog and
there's a lot of stun available to them. But whatever the case, Boom picks up 2 more kills, and if they stick to this pattern, they should be able to push in and take 1 tower, if not both.
And it's one of those things where you want to concentrate your forces and take out 1 tower for sure. And hopefully they end up doing that, but they decided they split it up a little bit. There's a little bit of damage on both towers. That's going to end up being fine for them, but yeah, that's going to be it as well.
I think all 3 of them are taken. I really do.
Yeah, if they had all 3 pushed to the bottom one, that would have been much closer to dead, if not a dead tower. In this case, the top tower took some scratches. Bottom tower still halfway full, so still all right. And by the look of things, we're going to a game 3.
Well, I mean, evidence says that Boom is definitely in control of this map. They're able to get a lot of these kills. They're putting up pressure on a lot of these turrets. And, you know, another few kills, maybe get a turret. Another few kills, get a turret. Then we got a core. It's looking good. At the same time, you can't really say that APE isn't going down without a fight because they are getting a lot of these counter kills as well. Oz, for example, I mean, he's always doing the self-destructs, but it's always putting people low on the hit points. Look at this, Paolo and Blah, ridiculously low. Really good kill bait, but unfortunately we just don't have the positioning this time for APE. But they have capitalized on that before and turned around some of these kills.
Absolutely, and that's the weird thing. Despite the fact that right now the situation is entirely in Boom's control, it still feels like there's an actual competition going on, and it's only slightly in their favor.
You said once upon a time, kills don't matter.
Yeah, and I stand by it. Well, they do a little bit, but in this case, it's 8 to 15. There's a massive solar advantage in favor of Boom, and yet
1200.
APE still in this. Still very much in this. Other teams will crumble under this weight. And APE is managing to stay on top. They're managing to keep a cool head about it. And they're doing just fine.
Because that clunk just keeps getting more and more powerful.
Oh.
I don't even get to click on the hotkey before maybe he goes down.
Yep.
That is some scary burst.
Yeah, but at the speed of burst, you know, like, you know, to heck with sound. The speed of sound is slow compared to the speed of the burst that this team has. It's pretty unbelievable how fast they can just kind of go dash, dash, hammer, bindings, boom.
Dash, dash, hammer, bindings, boom. You know, mechanically that sounds like a lot on the plate, but it's 3 players that actually has to execute it. It's just all about timing. And right now, Boom is pretty much on top of it consistently. They get the kill, they put up the map pressure. They're looking for these turrets. They're looking for expose that core so that they can move on here to the finals. And, it's going their way. As I said, this is their game to lose.
Absolutely, but here's the thing. Even like with the way the teams are right now, even if they knock down all the turrets, right? If they lose a fight at the red core and they somehow all die, I mean, we've seen it before. One death in the late game can mean the difference between a turret and keeping it up and alive. Having a team wipe can mean the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is still entirely possible. 1,000 damage explodes are frightening no matter what level and stage of the game you're at. And
more frightening than this.
Yeah, absolutely. Swiggins picking up the Octant upgrade, so his grapple now managed to hit in a small area of effect whenever he lands. He's also managed to pick up Baby Curry Mammoth, so another replica of last game. Scoop, deep away from Jeeve, he's got his fully upgraded hammer now with triple damage, double cooldown, and twisted lance. He also started to go into the banner of the triple scoop, but will he be able to use it here? Not likely, as Paolo manages to pick up another kill. Now Zadie's running for his life. In comes the explode. That's going to hit everybody, but Ape trying his best not to die, and he's going to end up dying anyway. So the red team gets wiped out. This should be a turret.
Paolo, Kaio, Blah, all 3 still alive. This is the 3rd team wipe, I believe. Now on top of Ape.
And they're still trying to push down this turret, and they're taking a lot of damage. Blah needs to be careful. So does Kaio.
No
like
creeps. Creeps just not there.
Yeah, they are slowly coming up as Paolo is moving them forward, and bottom turret will go down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
but they aren't getting anything else. They're just getting this bottom turret.
Yeah, I mean, 25 minutes in, they didn't have the creep wave, so they had to tank out a lot of that hit points, which kind of, you know, takes the wind out of your sails, so to speak. Everybody's apparently going home for a shopping spree, all right? But they now have their goal of the core exposed. They now have that in order to start finishing this.
And lots of upgrades being picked up. So Frog's picked up 2 ranks of tweeters and finished off his boom boxes. So is NATO now dealing the maximum amount of damage it possibly can do.
It's ridiculous.
And yeah, Scoop now has 2 ranks of Idol and the Ice Queen, so lots of damage there.
He has
Banner,
5
triple
items
Scoop, fully upgraded.
One.
Yep,
5
and
items.
Spoonman.
Ugh.
Scoop now doing the most damage that he could possibly do, as long as he's standing next to his friends. That's Paolo is not to be messed with right now.
Absolutely. Paolo's actually the breadwinner right now.
Really? Yeah, he is.
29, almost 3,000 solar.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there enjoying himself.
In fact, he is a full 900 solar ahead of Oz.
That's unfortunate.
900 ahead.
And it shows. Like, he's got 2 ranks of Spoon Man. He's finished off Banner of the triple scoop. Like, I think he's actually finished off all but one of his upgrades for his bindings. He's got everything he can have almost for his utility row. His hammer's maxed out. Like, he's only a couple of upgrades off of finishing everything on his build. Like, he can only spend so much more money. The Swiggins on the blue team now picked up the milk carton, so now he moves super fast with shielded ink shots when he grapples in. So he's going to be impossible to catch. Oz taking lots of damage. He's going to maybe get off and explode. He gets off the explode, and it's going to end up actually hitting a couple of people. That's going to be a trade-off there. But now blue team looking to maybe get some some other kills. Deity's going to kill off Kaio, and now Blanc by himself against Majiv and Deity's. Deity's looking to come in and get, oh wow, the snare, just catching Blanc on the back end of it. Really, really useful. And now he's just kind of on his own. Majiv maybe looking to pick up a snare on him. If he picks up that snare, nope, he teleports home. So it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. No damage on the core yet, and Ape still have signs of life despite being 10-20.
So again, looking at the difference in solar, let's call it 2,300 across the board compared to 28, 28, 31. That is 5, 5, and 4-5 difference.
Yep, and yet
they are still able to fight so effectively. It's mind-boggling that Ape is able to do the things that they're able to do.
And it has a lot to do with how they're playing. Every time that they win these fights, it's because they go all in on Oz and it takes too long, so they end up getting exploded for it, and it's enough to get at least 1 kill. Now Oz looking to go ahead and toss out some more double missiles, something that he used to great effect last time. To zone and push and all stuff. And Ape goes down, or at least Oz does. Now it's Deities versus the other.
Somehow you knew.
Here, and he ends up dying. So it's a 3-man wipe. This should be the core. Like, you got the blue team running as fast as they can, but does Frog have any left click? The answer is no. And does Paolo have any left click? Yeah, he's got some, but he's a scoop. It's not like he's going to do a lot. So the two of them are doing their best to do some damage. They're probably going to get this core down to at least half, probably a lot, like down to a third.
Who are they missing? Oh, they're missing the Swiggins. Right?
Yeah, they're missing the Swiggins, but like they're so slow. The red team's coming down very slowly.
The slow of justice.
Come on, the slow of justice. It's down to a third.
Is this not going to be a core?
Nope, no core.
Wow.
Blue team backing off and going home for now. So Teaspoon.
I'd be a little rattled at that.
Yeah, I'd be a little rattled too. But they decide to play it patiently. Thornfish now picked up for Frog. If that happens again, it will be the core. Absolutely.
Yes, Thornfish will definitely be something that Blau cursed himself he didn't have before, but at the same time didn't think he needed. We've now had 4 team wipes in this match alone, Ape versus Boom, and the core is now down to 4 bars.
Yep.
Next team fight, if it goes favorable to Boom, that's game.
It is. And we got a double Spoon Man coming out of Majiv. So Majiv now has a decent amount of damage that he can toss out from a distance.
Like that?
Yeah, when it hits. But yes. Right now, things are looking really quite grim for the red team. But they still have a chance. It's just very slim.
There is some good news. There's no stealth characters, and they still have their top turret, which means that there's no really big sneaky that's going to go on. If anybody wants to try to YOLO that core, they
have to come to the tank wall.
Yeah. But it's also going to be spotted out. Like, there's no sneaky, there's no stealth, there's no clone army, there's no back door. It's literally just that one hatch of access, and you know that Ape is going to be guarding it with its life. And even worse, if you YOLO the core at this stage in the game and you fail, you now have to deal with a 3v2 of the enemy team looking to end the game using that advantage.
Absolutely. But what Ape needs right now, absolutely necessarily needs, is a team wipe. If they don't get a team wipe, they can't really push out.
Core takes a smidgen of damage there from those creeps.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Every little bit counts at this point. This is a very tense time. Like, if I was on Ape, the mentality has to be literally delay, delay, delay.
Yeah, Ape is doing their best to not make any more mistakes. One more mistake and they are out, and that'll be their qualifier 3 ambitions out the window. They've come so far and they don't want to see that happen.
Would actually go to a game 3. If Boom wins this, it's a game 3.
It is. Good point. But they can try to clinch this right here, right now, and this would be a morale hit that would be difficult to recover from for some people.
For sure. Yeah. No, so, the mind games. These guys have been playing all day as well. Fatigue is setting in. Food breaks have been scarce and far in between. So yeah, extending this game series is not at all in Ape's interest. They want to 2-0 this, get to the finals because the time is moving on. I mean, we've been at this casting for almost 8 hours, and the tournament itself almost I want to say 10, if not more at this point.
At least. And like Boom really wants to go ahead and try to secure their place in the next round. Ape, they're on game point. They want to do this. It's just right now things are looking really grim for them. They can come out of this, but right now this is very much Boom's game to lose. It's currently 11-23 in favor of Team Boom. You've got a huge Solar lead that's beginning to slowly dwindle as Solar starts to become less and less important as the game goes on.
Yeah, over 3,000 now, everybody here from Boom. They're basically maxing out builds.
Yep, Swiggins, from what I can tell, is maxed out on his left click,
Scoop
is maxed out on his, almost maxed out on his grapple, almost maxed out on his anchor drop, maxed out on utilities.
Law gets caught there by the anchor into the hammer, or the hammer into the anchor. Doesn't actually drop, but gets really low. In fact, it's actually now going to be Kaio that's running for the hills. Does leave him a creep there, some good camaraderie, but that's going to leave us with Paulo. Paulo actually does get bursted down. Kaio, he's actually going to get caught out in the end of it as well, and this is now 2 people dead for Boom.
What just happened?
Hammers. Anchors. Explosions. Ape is happening. They consistently do these fights, and they consistently get these kills.
But
they're going to consistently win for a 2-0?
Hold on, Bly's a frog. He might do something.
What can a frog do against this? That's double missiles on Oz. That's an explode if he gets low. That's Mavid just taking all the Thornfish and not caring with a binding. And that's going to be the core. And Boom, with all the advantages of the world, falls right through their fingers, and they're out. Ape moves on.
What?
Ape moves on to finals and is going to be joining us on January 17, 18 in the Grand.
Just
to go up against Boss, to go up against Leg, All-Stars. I don't even actually remember the other one.
What? Oh my gosh, what was that? That was... Wow, okay, so they extended, they got caught out, and then they just got capitalized.
I don't even think they got extended. They just got hit by a hammer, and Ape said, do it. And
yeah,
they chased.
And it worked, but like they were behind by so much.
So, unfortunately for us, I think one of our lights blew. So, that's it for the webcam portion of the show.
Well, I guess that's too
much. Congratulations, though, to Ape.
Yeah, absolutely, and I would love to see if
100%.
Yeah, I'd love to see Boom give it another shot tomorrow because they absolutely put up an excellent show. They looked like they were ready to win both of those games.
Serious.
And then, yeah,
serious.
They didn't. Just out of nowhere, Ape comes from behind. I've never heard of Ape before, but I am super impressed.
Deities, Mavid, Oz. Congratulations, guys. We will see you in the finals. We will see you January 17th, January 18th for the grand finals for a shot at getting your own Alienware Alpha, for a shot of going home as a paid community member here
in the Knots community. Yeah. Like being one of the the biggest Awesome Knots tournament in terms of money and prizes and all that stuff.
Speaking of the cash money, I mean, this is what these guys are fighting for. Over $5,000 in cash and prizes. 3 Alienware Alphas go to first place, including a little bit of cash in their pocket. Awesome Knots skin bundles. And that, I mean, we've said this time and again, that is a very good looking console.
Yeah, it's nice. Good curves, nice lines.
Exactly. Good curves and nice lines. So we also have a few announcements here for you guys tonight because, as we've kind of alluded to, time restrictions is actually going to force us to settle the finals offline. Teams are extremely tired. Don't really blame them because we're now getting into the night here in Canada, so 6 hours ahead. You guys are looking at mid-morning. So we will actually have updates for you on finals tomorrow for qualifier number 4, which we do start at same time. And broadcast same place, 1 p.m. Eastern, which I believe is 7 GMT plus 2. CEST, that's it. The German time zone, I believe.
Well, regardless, it's going to be the same knot time, same knot channel.
And we'll have to see if Suck My Knots actually comes back to this as well. There's a lot of good teams. A lot of good teams that went out today that have one more chance tomorrow with Qualifier 4.
And they were all excellent today. I think that this was probably the highest skilled qualifier I've seen. Like a lot of games are very close. And although we saw a couple of stops here and there, the vast majority of the games that we saw today were tooth and nail struggles from start to finish.
Suck my nuts. Win fast, please. Team Ape.
Boom.
Who are the other ones? OP Leg, I know, got all the way to the quarters.
Yep.
And then they lost to Ion. OP
Ion.
Boom.
Yep.
Yeah. OP Boom? Yeah, just
No,
Boom.
just Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
A lot of big teams that have one more chance tomorrow to qualify for this amazing prize pool. And, you know, we already have one of our qualifiers today. Once again, it is going to be Ape. We don't know who's actually going to the finals on the other, but they will also be inducted. And so we will have that update for you tomorrow, which means we are done for tonight. Guys,
and we don't
made
have
it.
a webcam, which means I can't make silly faces or stroke my beard for you.
Yeah, we got to fix that light.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's very important light.
Yeah.
So, yes, congratulations, guys. We made it to the end. Qualifier 3 in the bag. For Jester, Mr. Slow Wolf.
Yep.
It was a heck of a day. So a few big shout-outs today. You know, everything couldn't have been possible here without Ronimo Games. Sponsored by Ronimo Games. They put up a lot of the cash, the skins, the prizes. But Alienware, man, bringing out that alpha into first place. Big thanks to them to make this Alienware Awesome Cup. It wouldn't be possible without those two. Everything here is powered by Gosu Gamers. Those brackets, the submission systems, the way that we get our replays, the way that we are able to bring you these matches. Big thanks to them for hosting all this. And of course, all your production here is ES Champ. You can find everybody out there on their respective Twitters, their Facebooks, their hashtags, all the way out there. You can look them up. You can ask in the chat. We got some friendly moderators there as well. And, you know, big thank you to you guys. You guys stuck with us all the way through, all the way to the bitter end. Give your predictions there in the chat as well. We want to see who do you think is going to win, Gas or Ion, to move on to finals. And then even then, you know, who's your big seed, Gas, Ion, or Ape?
And really, at the end of the day, I just want to see what you beautiful people think about all this. Like, if you got any comments or feedback, I think that we're all willing to go ahead and hear what you guys have to say. We are all listening. So where can people find you, Forecourt?
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Forecourt Jester. I do a lot of things, but I'm very happy and very humbled to be here at the Alienware Awesome Cup because I get to do work with you, Mr. Slow Wolf.
Oh, thanks, man.
And where can people find your lovely stuff?
Well, you can find my stuff on Twitter, so at Slow Wolf. You can find me on YouTube as well, at Slow Wolf Gaming. And finally, I do stream on Twitch, though it's a little bit less frequent than it once was, but I am around, and I do make my own content and all that good stuff, so you can find me all there.
All right, Awesome Knot community, we love you. Good night. We will see you tomorrow for Qualifier 4, where we will select our last two teams to join us in the Grands to see who will take home these Alienware Alphas. Have a wonderful night.
We love you, beautiful people.